highly recommend folks take an active role in protecting their properties, doing fuel control, keeping clear spaces around the residences, use fire-resistant materials on the exterior of the residences, roofs, and that sort of thing. The other thing I always recommend is folks be prepared. This is an inevitability. This is something that everyone is going to at some point be affected by, whether it affects their residents directly or whether it's just something close by that you have to react to. And I highly recommend folks just take the opportunity to look at their location, look at any potential evacuation routes they may have to utilize, and a plan they may have to have for themselves to keep themselves safe from any potential wildfires or other emergencies like that. The better prepared you are, the easier it is to deal with, and the better you'll be in the long run.
This has been many years ago. I had a resident in our district. He wanted me to come up and look at his property, and we had to drive through a tunnel per se. The road was overgrown, and up to his house, and brush growing down along his house. And so I walked around it and I looked, and finally it came down to, I said, if we have a wildland incident here, I said, I'm going to put my resources, your resources, on your neighbor's house that we can see down there at the bottom. I said, you see how he's got his wildland set back? There's a lot of escape routes for my firefighter. And he says, well, what about my house? I said, I can't save your house. I said, I'm not going to put my firefighters in danger with no escape route and everything growing up around your house. And lo and behold, 2 weeks later, he had all the setbacks in and cleared out. So maybe that was his wake-up call. It helps us tremendously if people will keep their house numbers legible and visible. The brush out from in front of them so we can see them. I tell everybody to try and get their ladder fuel down, get those brush and stuff away from their homes, and not just the vegetation. We find people stacking their firewood up against their houses, and get enclosed soffits on your house. Enclose your eaves, enclose the porches. Give us a fighting chance to help them if we do have something serious come in.
When it comes to wildfire resiliency, we have to look at it as a holistic approach. You have to think about not only the survivability of your home, but evacuation planning considerations. And to increase the survivability of your home is to focus on your defensible space and the first 5 feet around your home being clear of any combustible material. So we're talking outdoor textiles, vegetation, bark mulch that comes up to your house. Even a wooden fence can bring fire up to your home. And so we recommend that the first 5 feet around your home is completely clear of anything that could catch fire.
So as far as individual citizens and business owners to be able to make their businesses and homes more resilient and protected, I definitely recommend going to our website, utilizing the digital resources we have out there as far as information goes. Yeah, right now the Emergency Manager's Office has a ongoing grant system that we're trying to get developed and activated. Funds are received. We just have to get the whole process in place to be able to utilize for homeowners, business owners, that sort of thing, to be able to have properties and their businesses have more fire reduction processes put in place as far as fuel clearing, wildfire protection type activities, as far as even like ground clearing, reduction of fuels. Some of those grants will allow for also siding improvement, roof improvements, gutters and things like that. Yeah, so once that grant gets up and running, we'll have that as forward facing as we can. We'll obviously advertise it throughout the community, also social media pages, the county website, and then emergency management's website also. It may end up in its final form being a very small cost, but right now we're shooting for a zero cost to the actual individual citizens and business owners. So the primary notification system we use in Curry County is called Everbridge, and I highly recommend all citizens subscribe to that. It is a subscription system. If you're not subscribed to it, you will not receive notification through it. And now it's had the primary system that the Sheriff's Office and other emergency agencies in the county use to disseminate information to the public at large. All you need to do is go to the Sheriff's Office website, get to the search bar and search for Everbridge. It'll take you to the link, and it only takes a little bit of time to subscribe to it. It doesn't cost any money, and it will notify you of emergencies. It may also you might also get notifications of large storms and that sort of thing. based on the topography and whatnot of our county, a lot of other radio-based systems and cell-based systems don't operate that well. So I highly recommend folks utilize Everbridge.
We have 3 positions here in Curry County with Oregon State Fire Marshal, one being our Deputy State Fire Marshal. We have one assigned to every county in Oregon. Their focus is on building inspections, fire investigations, and for wildfire resiliency, they provide defensible space assessments for homeowners. We also have a regional mobile coordinator. Now they're regional, not necessarily for just this county, but they focus on wildfire response. And then our 3rd position is a fire risk reduction specialist, which is what I do. And I cover Lane, Douglas, Coos, and Curry counties in the work that I do. And my focus, my unit's focus, is on fire adapted Oregon and changing the culture here in Oregon of living with fire and what to expect and how do we make Oregonians safer.
If you didn't have it and you've done something and it starts popping up, best thing you can do is pull those baby sprouts. And identifying them, getting at them early is really the key. If you have mature gorse, you're gonna wanna probably mow it or masticate it with a forestry mulcher. That's a really common thing we do. That reduces the sheer mass of it. And then after that is usually an herbicide follow-up. So it's really about integrated pest management. And then talking with someone like myself or someone within the Gorse Action Group, which is a local work group of land managers. We get together a couple times a year. We have a whole website with educational materials, and just talking with someone who's done it and knows the contractors who've worked on it. We provide technical assistance, anything from just talk me through it to helping folks find funding. What people have to just remember is it is a long-term thing. And so mustering those resources over and over again to make sure you can stay on top of it is really the hardest part. But first thing you can do is reach out and ask some questions, because there's a lot of nuances. And if you don't know those, you can do a lot of effort and not get a lot back for that effort.